Welcome everybody. This is meant for you when you have clicked on this video. These messages have found you at the right time. Hope you're all doing amazing. Welcome soul family, welcome new viewers. This is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. So we're all about working with your own intuition. We're going to be looking into the collective energy. Collective energy currently in your energy field. What is going on for the collective? Movement. Ooh, fire. All right, so there's action. There is action right now. There's a heightened energy. There is an excess of almost, I feel like a wave of power, excitement, the will. I feel like your will, your desire, almost like it's been building up. So you may be feeling restless, possibly a bit stir crazy. We have the number 2. So the number 2 signifies another possibility, another door opening up, which is creating a new path. And this could actually be somewhere where you never experienced almost the splitting of timelines. So this is creating an opening to travel to a new territory, unknown land. And I feel like being on a certain life course that you've been on for a while. Feel this split was never before aware in your consciousness. So this is I feel like there's something within you where it's time, it is the energy where you've been has served you well. But yet this is time to go beyond the world that you've never seen before. So this is beliefs, passion, purpose. Feeling that there is more to your journey. And for some, either this is brand new or it's been feeling for a while. This pull, this excess of growth, stimulation, it's requiring you to, if not take literal action, like physically move into a new space. What this is, it's the purpose that you have awoken. So it's a whole new reality past the everyday. That there's so much more out there to explore. And if you haven't taken a step yet, there has been this aha moment where the candle has been lit, the light has been turned on in a space that was unknown, but also wasn't even aware of its existence. And I feel like now you're existing in a level, I shouldn't say level, existing in a place where you see beyond. So something is catching your attention. And just like fire, it stays lit. It just doesn't, it's, once you've been aware of this, there's no going back. It's almost like you understand life a little bit more, and the current events were to set the stage for a big shift to accept it and go beyond and dive into the wonders of what the world really has to offer, or to ignore in fear of what would be to come. But when you're in this stage of awakening, I feel like I'm almost seeing it as like a time. It's like those old clocks, the cuckoo clocks. When it would strike every hour, it would make a loud noise. And I feel like once something is stimulated within you, within your mind, within your heart, with your soul, it pulls you. It pulls you, your curiosity. It hasn't have a fear. There is no fear. And you've been feeling something, but not knowing what was coming. And I feel like now this connects the dots. And as the clock chimes, it's almost like you're not as trapped in the world. That just doesn't make sense. So if this feels like your energy, you may not know what is to come of a path you didn't even know was there, but you feel it in your nervous system, you feel it in your cells, you feel it that there was more. There was more, because it doesn't make sense. All right, so we do have conflict and defeat. So at the number 5, there's been a lot of stairs, climbing, but also tripping back, tripping down, feeling defeated. But this was the change. This was necessary to get you to a point where felt like you were defeated, felt like the conflict was such a burden. And I feel like this is where I feel like a lot of the collective has been going through the past, I didn't say a couple of years, but timeline doesn't matter. It's been going rough, and there's been no answers. There's been no. I feel like that was to pull you out of the physical, pull you out of the material, and to feel like you've been defeated in this world. But this world was made to keep you from becoming who you're meant to be, who you are, who you've always been. It was tough lessons. There was a lot of truths, there was a lot of self-discoveries, and there was a lot of just when you feeling like you were in a good place. Just when you felt like you were in a good place, things would come crumbling down. But your inner world was not crumbling. It was being created. It was creating. You must be broken in the outer world, the pain, the suffering, to feel all that, to feel all what it's like to have human feelings. So to feel at the lowest point, I feel like that is where the ego gets checked, and that's when truth and honesty, that's where we tend to need to go and look inside. What are we allowing into our life? What is needing to be changed? What are we accepting? There's too much push to force something. But the steps were to not look in the outside world for happiness, because that will just leave you defeated in the end. Happiness is within. So when you feel defeated on the outside, there is no quick fix to healing. There's no quick fix to healing and getting past those lessons and challenges, but to be kicked down until something is awoken within you. The light never left your side. So these choices and decisions, we're all meant to lead you down a path, lead you down a dark hallway, down dark stairs, to figure something out about yourself. So that's why I feel like these blocks were happening, these challenges. There was a lesson to be learned. There was a shift, a change. And that happens when The darkness leads you to your own defeat, feeling like you're defeated. It challenges everything about the world, about yourself, and who you are and who you are becoming, who you were needed to be defeated. So the conflict, the battles within could be resolved, and choices to move in your own path, leading your ship, leading your purpose forward. And it really does open up your belief system. It really does open up an awareness that you may not have realized before. The base chakra, all right, so that's all about the roots, right? The roots tend to be from patterns passed on from family, ancestral trauma. It's the roots that are deep, right? They're deep and they're buried away. You can't see them. But those roots are what hold you in place. So it's necessary to dig that up and dig up who you really are. Find out what you're made of. Find out what you're capable of, and your roots are connecting. Your roots are connected many lifetimes. And the roots sometimes are those deep wounds that are just needing to be awoken within yourself so you can accept them. Accept them and be true to who you are. The conflict remains until you sought out the problem and the answer to the solution. Not fighting your own self, your higher self. It's leading you. And I feel like there's a lot of resistance, right? There's a lot of resistance to unknown. Look at this. We have number 6, material and spiritual prosperity. Yeah. It's all about not necessarily what you see right in front of you. Looking between the lines. Looking at places that you would never have before. It's letting go of the material aspect, the wants and the needs, and just realizing the source of all is right in front of your eyes. That if you're not looking for the path, your path, you're not looking for your purpose, you'll never find it. It's like through those turmoil, through all those challenges, it was needing to stop and really see something, a vision, see something through this all. Almost missing the point. That is what you do with your light, what you do with your fire, and what you do with the world. I feel like we all kind of have a collective we all have a duty, in a sense. We're here to create what the world already has to offer, all the beautiful elements. Really, it's seeing beauty is all around. Not always trying to figure out every single problem around you, or trying to run away from certain aspects about our life that we don't like. Maybe it could be family problems. This could be, I feel like this is more of a belief system, a spiritual belief system, self-expression, breaking through from the old person, the old self that has gone through a lot, and not it's almost like somebody that walks around like they've been through a lot, right? And they carry the weight around on them, and it's almost like they're somebody that resists change and wants to do things their way, even if it harms others. So it's almost like not doing the inner journey is going to bring a lack to your finances, to success, right? There needs to be a balance, an appreciation for what you have, but not holding on to it. Accepting life how it is, and bringing an aspect of yourself we all have a purpose, and we all need to take a bit of accountability, you know, for the life that we live. You know, it's easy to say the world needs to be a better place, but it all starts with ourselves. So this is kind of like that pause and remembering and recognizing that the pathway your pathway isn't trying to conquer, isn't trying to do better, isn't trying to get ahead and, you know, wants success in recognition or power or money, right? It's because that will always just lead you to the same ending. It's what you put your energy into. When you look at life in a different way, when you look at life not as a burden, but a beginning to better understanding ourselves, our growth, and life's challenges and the traumas and everything negative that has happened to you during your life. It wasn't to mirror, it was to recognize the result. It's not about the result, it's the process. It's the process. Seeing the big picture. And wanting the best for everybody. I feel like it is success, but in a way that success that you feel lighter. You feel like life isn't always yours to fix, but to try and see the positive in everything. That is the winning. That is the way to win. That's the way to success. Be open-minded. That we're all here. We're all here to learn. Earth school, to study, to grow, and see life. See life as the way you choose to live it. Accepting what we can't change and changing what we can. And I feel like that is the big shift, the movement, is that awareness. Not to hold yourself in fear, not to hold yourself in working, almost like working for success to get the results, but for greed, not for living life with pure intentions, living life where you can look back and even if you made mistakes, your intentions were clear. And I feel like that free mind, you just want to do better and to do the best you can, is to let go of the person that you were before and let breath in to the life in the present. It's all about not repeating the cycles. Try to take these lessons as the universe teaching you. And instead of resisting or letting it break you, I feel like that's that outer journey. It's meant to break you. But when you have that, when you look into you also have the inner journey where all things are possible and this is just one lifetime you're living. So you don't need to break yourself like it's YOLO, only one life to live. That is not true. That is a gimmick. It's about taking life a step at a time, day at a time, and seeing through the patterns, seeing past the things that maybe stimulated it and made you happy for a moment. Because these are the things that are going to allow you to see past the matrix, right? And see the lessons as the disguise of you actually completing what you were meant to learn. And that challenge will no longer be there. It will not be a road bump. It won't be something that you see as fear or something that you see as a challenge. You'll see it as triumph. And you won't see it the same next time. Because the outside world is meant to always feel like you can't get ahead. But the secret is, the truth is, what lies beneath is life flows in all directions. It's what you make of it, what you take with you, and what you choose. What you choose to do is up to you. But the path to freedom is within all of us. And it just starts with accepting that all those bumps were part of the human exposure. But the inner journey is always with you. And once you stop living for the outside world, you stop living for everybody else and start living for yourself and expressing who you are and all your flaws, all your beautiful flaws, all the things that you've hid away from others. Those are your secret treasures. So the awakening feels like it's very painful in the beginning because the matrix is breaking. But once you see past that, it's the illusion. It's like you live in vivid color. You see things differently. You breaking off all of the traumas and everything that was passed on through lifetimes, right? This is a challenging world. There is a lot of pain and hurt. But once you realize you're not part of that, and that's not who you are, and it's this dimension that you're needing to break the trance, the curse that this world is put under, you realize that's not you. It's not part of you. It's external. And that's when you realize you're not part of this world. You were brought here many, many times to defeat the lost hope, to defeat the negative forces, and to unlock the prison that Earth has been put under. Needing movement and needing choices, decisions to come back to each person and realize, King of Pentacles, realize that you can move your crop. You can plant new seeds. Not needing to water the same plants that won't grow. This is all about bettering yourself. Realizing that growth and success sometimes comes with high stakes. So I feel like this can be a bit of a risk taker energy. The King of Pentacles, a good businessman, like a boss, isn't somebody that's fooled, somebody that's very stable, grounded, and doesn't get in their head. So this is stability coming in. And if you're stuck in a place, then maybe you need to dig up the source of where you're putting your roots, where you're setting your tracks, where are you, what is it all coming from? What system? What is it stemming from? Those roots are being they're being grown in a place that doesn't exist, it isn't meant to exist in your world. It comes to a place where you realize taking everything that you've learned, all those challenges, all those defeats, and turning them into triumph, planting seeds that will grow, harvesting new ideas, harvesting from the old what you've learned, taking that and putting it in a creative place that I feel like it unlocks something that you didn't know existed. And now you see through it. It was all about perception, the angle you're looking at things. And I feel like we're fooled a lot by illusions, feeling stuck, feeling hopeless, feeling defeated. That's what keeps humans stuck here on Earth, all right? So movement, there's a needed shift, there's need action required that take your power back. You are a direct part of Source. And what you are fueling, what you're giving fuel to, you're putting energy into, it's all a choice where you want to thrive, where you want your energy to thrive, where you want the world, where you think the world should be placed, where you think these new ideas, these new thoughts, this passion for a new direction, new experiences. It's coming from your heart. It's coming from you outgrowing where you are growing. And this isn't something someone teaches you. This is something that you learn on your own, from your own experiences. The waking the wonders within you, that the world is at your fingertips and you can change the direction that you're moving in, all with thought, all with realizing what you are truly capable of. But you need to be in a space of healing, awakening, and not resisting what's right in front of you. All right, Page of Cups, wishy-washy energy. I feel like you had a lot of ideas, ideas that were defeated. I feel like your kindness has felt like it's been defeated, possibly. It's been an emotional roller coaster. But all this is to learn about something that needed to be brought up so you could heal it. It's nurturing your emotional side. And it could be something that happened when you were a child, family, how you were loved, or how maybe you're sensitive and thoughtful, quiet. You had a big imagination, and maybe that was, you were told not to dream, and that your ideas didn't matter. But I feel like being dependent on those ideas, keeping you from being able to create your space that you were meant to grow out of that illusion. And you were inspired. You were inspired by thoughts And by healing, nurturing the aspects about yourself that gave you that spark, that gave you that creativity, and gave you that lust for life. So feel like you're seeing past something, you're seeing through something, you're seeing through the gates, seeing through the illusion, seeing past seen past the closed-in walls. They couldn't seem to get out of the loop. Until you weren't dependent on that system anymore. And you rose above and you got to a space where something sparked. Justice, something sparked. Justice, number 11, look at that, the path. Number 11 is a path. This is all about your karmic fate. The tables have turned. I feel like the shift has allowed you to see the truth. And I feel like this is all about cause and effect. The life lessons. Look at that, life lessons. Libra energy. Tables have turned. Life lessons. You're learning about life lessons. You're learning that whatever you were told to keep your imagination limited, I feel like that was the consequences from your roots, from your family roots. It could be ancestors, but it could also just be your family that you're born into. I feel like you have a kind heart. And when you love strong. But I feel like there's a lot of defeat and a lot of hard lessons that you had to learn as a youth. And you kept your emotions in. Which made you feel very, very almost like closed off. But this King of Pentacles, security, it feels like you learned the hard lessons. And you're not repeating what you were shown, cause and effect. The wheel's turning. And you're healing those emotional lessons. And that's why you're here to heal. You were repressed as a child, but I feel like now you're realizing the truth, that there's consequences. There were consequences you had to go through because of your family history or your ancestral trauma. We all have it, you know, and you realize that those lessons didn't defeat you, but they taught you who you were and taught you that no matter who you are, what you're born into, and what you had to struggle through, that wasn't who you are. It was what you had to go through. And you had to defeat those challenges that caused you a lot of pain and suffering, right? Believing the things you were told, what you were born into. And I feel like this is your material and spiritual prosperity. So this is you blooming, planting new seeds, that the roots that kept you small were only meant to hold you for so long. Here you are sprouting. because justice is served. This is your path, cause and effect. Your path, yeah, is opening up because of the decisions that you made. Look at that. On the bottom, passion, Knight of Wands. There was a lot of fire around you. There was a lot of, I feel like a lot of competition, a lot of decisions that were made in the past on your journey around you, just by people and who you were living around. I feel like there's a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges around other people telling you who you are. But here you are activating who you know you are. The judgment call. The judgment call, and you're answering it. Self-evaluation, awakening. Forgiveness. So for those who judge and blame others, are going to go through judgment to self-evaluate. But for you, this renewal is all about forgiveness, forgiving yourself and forgiving others. This is the opportunity to forge life from your own eyes, your own vision. You're misled down the wrong path so that you could find the right one. Here you are, the wishing well. Not knowing what's going to happen next. But with this new frame of thought and understanding oneself, life just got a whole lot. Life just got a whole lot more exciting. That you are the creator. Your thoughts are powerful. And the power you hold, it powers that light that never stopped burning. That's beautiful. Let's pull a healing card. We're going to close it out. Cool. All right there. Collective. What do we have? Kava, 48. Community. Look at that. Oh, it's like shifting in timeline for your community. Finding your soul tribe. The people that beat the same drum as you, same frequency. No judgment. No expectations. Just the want and will. To live. Love. Live and love. All right. So, big life lesson changes, discovering who you are after a lot of bumpy roads. But your kindness, the kind heart, it didn't go unseen. I feel like you just needed to see it within yourself. All right, so I feel like you're gonna be working with the people that are like-minded. That's where that community card comes out. All right. Yeah, to serve a bigger purpose. To love, and heal humanity. Number 48, which is 12. 12 breaks down to 3. 3 is the Empress. It's the cycles of life, the cycles of healing, the flow, the beginning, the end, well, the rebirth, the end, and the harmony between. Celebration, kinship with tribe, friendship, union, finding your chosen family. It's related to Pluto and the moon. All right, kava tea was regarded as a blessing and poured onto shrines, then later drunk by the kahuna, or spiritual leaders of the ceremony. It was considered holy and only given to those of high rank. To this day, it is drank in certain ceremonies to bring the community together. So the effects are a curious combination of deep relaxation alongside stimulation to the central nervous system. I was thinking that nervous system. So the main cause of this plant, deep transformation in our emotional mind. Regeneration, allowing us to decompress from accumulated emotions through the volcanic power. The volcanic power. Interesting, is the nervous system. Deep transformations within the nervous system and emotional healing, emotional growth, letting go of the need to win, or it's not the result, it's the process, the transformation that happens during these times, the deep healing. So the release of this energetic hold is what heals, is what is healing and breaking free out of the prison, the walls, allowing ascensions, and discovering who you are. I hope that helped. Till next time, bye.